Hi everyone, Matthew here again to read for our second evening of our Advent calendar. Let's see what story we have today. If you're interested in reading along with us, you can purchase the same collection of stories with a link in our description from Amazon. Tonight's story is Ariel's Christmas Under the Sea. Ever since she had first gone to the water's surface, Ariel could do little but dream of life on land. Night after night, despite her father King Triton's command, Ariel swam to the surface to gaze at the beautiful palace shining in the clear moonlight. She was always followed by her friend Flounder and trailed by Sebastian the Crab, who had been instructed by Triton to look after his daughter. One winter evening, she turned to Flounder. "What are all those beautiful lights lining the hill? They glow like stars, but they're so close to Earth." Flounder's large eyes grew even bigger as he gazed toward the land. "They seem to be coming from the castle," he said. Each evening at sunset, Ariel and Flounder returned to watch the lights go on. Each night, the castle grew brighter. Then, not only the castle, but the castle grounds too, twinkled in the night like the Milky Way. One night, Scuttle the seagull landed on their rock. "I see you're watching the Fool Tide," he said. Ariel was delighted to see Scuttle. He was an expert on human life, or at least he said he was. Fool Tide is when the foolish humans greet each other with glad tidings. It's also known as the holidays, because they deck the halls with holly, he explained. "But what are those twinkling lights?" asked Ariel. "People light candles to welcome the season. Too bad you can't take a peek inside the castle windows." Scuttle went on to describe the enormous decorated tree that stood in the great hall of the castle, the long tables piled high with roasts and puddings. He told how, as tokens of their love, humans bestowed gifts on one another, scattering bright wrapping paper everywhere and shouting, "Merry Christmas!" Ariel listened, entranced. How she would love to be included in the festivities. She dreamed of taking part in the decorating, singing, dancing, eating, and exchanging gifts. But none of this could happen unless she became human. Followed by Flounder, Ariel swam sadly back to her father's kingdom. "I don't want to see the castle lights anymore," she told Flounder. "I can never share the humans' holidays." Flounder hated to see Ariel unhappy. He rattled his brain and finally exclaimed, "We could make our own celebration." Ariel brightened. "Why not? We could decorate our great hall. And I could look for gifts for my sisters, for Daddy too. When he finds out about the holidays, maybe he'll realize that humans aren't such barbarians." The days that followed were exhausting. Ariel, Flounder, and Sebastian searched far and wide for the most beautiful seashells, starfish, and water plants they could find. After decking the great hall, Ariel and her friends shaped a large tree from deep green strands of seaweed and hung its limbs with colored glass circles made from bottles. And now for candles. Ariel searched her grotto where she kept souvenirs gleaned from shipwrecks. The candlesticks were there, but all the candles had floated to the surface. "Please, can you find us some candles? They're the very best part," Ariel pleaded with Scuttle. "No problem," he said. "I think I can borrow a few." Along the shore, Ariel found some magnificent moonstones, pebbles washed from the hills by a river and polished to brilliance by the waves of the sea. Aha! She gathered up the stones. They would make perfect gifts for her family, gifts that would help them understand how she felt. Meanwhile, each day Flounder swam up and down the shore, looking for a gift for Ariel, one that would remind her of the land she loved. One day he saw a young man on the beach, looking sad and lonely. As the man turned, a crystal button fell from his shirt, which sparkled in the sand. When the tides came in, Flounder retrieved the button and wrapped it in seaweed and tied it with a narrow ribbon. The holiday eve came at last. Ariel's heart strummed with excitement as she wrapped the gifts for her family in the petals of an anemone. After she and Flounder had fixed Scuttle's candles onto the tree, Ariel blew through a large shell horn to summon her father and her sisters. "I have a surprise for you," she sang. Ariel's family stared at the festival hall and the colorful tree. "What under the sea is this?" her sisters exclaimed. "You mean what on earth?" bubbled Ariel. "This is Christmas," she said proudly, "the way humans celebrate." "It is splendid," they agreed, and so did King Triton. "But just wait," said Ariel. "Here's the best part." She struck a flint to the candles, and nothing happened, because, of course, candles cannot burn underwater. She struck and struck again, her eyes filling with tears. "It's all ruined," she wailed. "We've worked so hard, and now my Christmas is a fizzle." "Not so, my dear daughter," said Triton. "Though you cannot make candles burn as they do on land, you put your heart into this surprise, and that's what makes it so special." He took his trident and aimed it at the tree. The candles glowed with a magical light. "There, is that better?" From then on, the evening was filled with magical spirit. Triton ordered up a grand feast accompanied by musicians. When Ariel presented her gifts with "Happy Holidays," her family were overwhelmed. Her sisters held out their gleaming moonstones. "Where did you find these lovely gems?" Ariel explained how they were fashioned by both earth and sea, working together as one. She looked up at her father, who merely smiled and nodded. He understood the message of the moonstones. Towards the end of the celebration, Flounder drew Ariel to one side. "I have something for you. Merry Christmas!" He told her how he had found the gift. "Flounder, how very precious!" Ariel took the crystal, laced with the ribbon through the button, and hung it around her neck. The crystal rested near her heart. When she held the button up to look at it, the crystal sparkled like starlight, just like the lights that twinkled from the palace on the hill. As Ariel gazed at it, she felt her heart glow with hope, and suddenly she knew the meaning of the candles in the night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for Night 3.